Hey, Roy from Tapio Farms here. Let's look at what we've got. It is day 5, and I did things a little bit differently this time. I haven't even really looked at the plants so far. I've just been letting them go, and we'll see what we've got. All right, here we go. Okay, so I stacked everything up so that I could get more microgreens this time. I didn't buy enough no-hole trays, so I just ended up stacking them. So I take off the top layer of tin foil. Look at that. That's pretty crazy. So we've got a lot of growth under there. Again, they've been under for 5 days. This is the arugula. Take that off. We will bring this over to this rack and check for mold. I don't see any mold, just root fibers. Excellent. Maybe a little bit of mold right there. Oh, shite. Okay, well, hopefully that's not a trend. Got these guys down here. I had the first tray on it. It would be a shame if we had to throw all of this out. Okay. This is the second tray. So this is the one that had the first one tray on top of it. Everything looks pretty good so far. Damn, we may have a little bit of mold down there. Mostly, it just looks like root fibers, though, from what I can see. Maybe we'll spray it with a little bit of water if we can. Okay, second tray down, or third tray, but under 2 trays. Everything looks fine so far. Yeah, I'm having trouble discerning whether might be a little bit of mold, but it might just be root fibers. I'm not sure. My spray bottle actually broke, so the seal on the cover broke, unfortunately. So that's not good. All right, this one had 3 trays on top of it. Looks relatively fine. Okay. And the last one, which had 4 trays on top of it. Looks pretty good. All right, we're going to put this down here. All right, and now the broccoli. Come on, Mama. Okay, the broccoli does not look as good. At least the top tray. Yeah. Wow. Well, didn't get very much germination all the way over here. Did we run out of water? Was that the problem? Maybe. Anyway, we'll take this off. Okay, second tray looks a lot better. So maybe it just wasn't the weight. The weight wasn't pushing down these broccoli. So the broccoli must need more weight. All right, so you can see all those root fibers down there. That's not mold, thankfully. I'll have to get another spray bottle so we can see right away. Because, I mean, there could be a little bit of mold in there, but it's hard to tell with all the root fibers. Okay, there's the third tray of broccoli. Put that down there. Slide these guys over. And take this one off. Okay, so there's all of our trays of broccoli. I'm going to inspect it really closely. I don't see any obvious mold. Oh, there might be some right there. Okay, well, and maybe some right there. Oh, shit. Well, we'll see. We'll put it under the fan, and we'll get the dehumidifier running. We'll see what it looks like tomorrow. So, generally, you don't want to keep them under the covers for 5 days. You can see it's still nice and moist, actually, because, of course, the chances of mold are worse, but we'll see what we've got. It's probably going to be mostly fine. So we're going to let them green up and go under the lights here. We'll see what we've got tomorrow. It should be mostly fine. I mean, there might be a couple spots we'll have to throw out, a couple chunks, and in the future, I'm probably just going to leave them under for 3 days, 4 days at most. But I think 3 days should be fine, honestly. The first time I think was 4 days. The second run I think was 3 days. This time we tried 5. I think 5 is just a little overkill, and it gives it a little bit too much chance for mold. So I think 3 days will be fine. We'll give them 3 days under the covers and then take them off. I think that's what most people do. 3 days under the covers. Take them off, put them under the lights, get the fan on them to reduce the chance of mold. Really, mold is the worst enemy in this whole game here. Mold is the killer. And so we're just going to try and avoid that as much as possible. But everything looks fine, mostly. There's a little patch on this one that I see. That, who knows? We'll do our best here. But yeah, so we haven't tightened up the process completely. We're not expert microgreens growers yet, but we will be. Mark my words, we will be. Yeah, but everything looks relatively good, actually. So I don't know, maybe 4 days. Maybe next time we'll try 4 days again, and I'll see where we're at. But that's about it. Day 5. The cool thing about keeping them under this long is that they get nice and long stems. And so it might reduce the harvest time, actually, a little bit. Because we're waiting for that length so that we can chop enough off to make it worth our while. So if we could somehow keep them under for 4 or 5 days without developing mold, that might be the ticket, but could just be too risky. So next time we'll try 3, then maybe we'll up it again to 4, and then try some other methods, sterilizing everything. Maybe even the seeds. I still need to get some food-safe hydrogen peroxide to do seed sterilization. And this time I actually just rinsed off all of the trays. I didn't do any Dawn dish soap, scrubbing everything like I did last time. So I'm going to get that food safe hydrogen peroxide. Hopefully I can order it online. If I can't, I'll have to find a store that sells it. And then I'm just going to do what Donnie Greens does and just spray them down after every grow cycle. And that should reduce the contamination, the mold spores on the trays themselves. Then really all we have to think about is mold spores on the seeds. And of course the soil is going to have some contamination as well, but I'm not sure if there's anything we can do about that. I have seen some people spray down the seeds on the soil with food safe hydrogen peroxide. Once they get the seeds on the soil, they'll spray it down, and that sort of probably helps a lot. So we might end up doing that. We're just going to try a bunch of methods, see what works best. This is only our 3rd run. So, can't expect too much right now. This is our 3rd run. We're trying things out. And so we're going to make a lot of mistakes. We have made a lot of mistakes. We're learning from them. And we're trying to deal with this in the small amount of time we can. So not very much time, working a 9 to 5, other things going on, social life. But if I can make this work, and if I can grow these freaking veggies and actually sell them, then anybody could do it. And if I can start making money with these and start developing an income, it could be a really good supplemental income that would just help really smooth out the cracks in life. You know, because I feel like there's this battle between the cost of living, the cost of everything, and wages. Um, and it seems like the more wages rise, you know, the more everything else increases, and I think the cost of living, the cost of everything, is drastically outpacing the wages. So it's getting harder and harder to live, to survive, and you know, I mean, we're gonna have to launch into a massive world war or something to recover the economy, but not hoping for that. But that seems to be the only way to fix this lopsided economic system that we have. The only way it has ever been fixed, unfortunately. So definitely not hoping for war. But the way that we can sort of be resilient no matter what happens, I think, is building these little side hustles. Eventually, everybody's going to be doing side hustles, and then the cost of everything is going to be competing with that, and the market's going to self. What's the word I'm trying to think of? It's going to recognize. It's going to recognize this. It's going to adjust, right? The market's going to adjust for the amount of money that people have. So we're just going to end up working harder and harder and harder and harder until we're dying of workaholism. And that's something to look forward to, you know. Can't wait. Cannot wait. But, you know, so that's my thoughts. Gonna start selling these hopefully. Eventually, I'm not rushing it though. We're just getting the process down. But yeah, eventually, I was hoping to start selling them at the farmers markets this year. Might be a little bit late to the party because I don't want to be selling something that I'm a little bit iffy on. And I mean, I could sell this stuff, but you know, so far I'm not doing it. I'm not growing them to sell yet. I'm still handling them with my bare hands and, you know, not quite sterilizing everything as much as I could because I sort of want to see how everything shakes out doing it the way I am. I want to see if it's possible. But eventually we're going to do all the professional stuff. When we start selling this stuff, we're going to be doing all the professional stuff, wearing gloves, sterilizing everything all the time. What else? Yeah, that's about it. We're going to have containers. We're going to probably use mason jars. And that's about it. That is it. I will talk forever if I keep this thing on. So, good night. Peace out. Say hi to your mom. And yeah, that's about it. Peace.